Kacey Musgraves performs High Horse on Saturday Night Live, NBC. Last week, Donald Glover amazed with the all-around best Saturday Night Live of the season. It was hardly an easy act to follow, but Amy Schumer brought her A game tonight, and along with outstanding musical guest Kacey Musgraves, the comedian delivered a seriously fun Mother's Day special on NBC. First up was the night's cold open. It's no secret that SNL's bread and butter has been its fiery, and sometimes divisive, political humor, but tonight the cast and crew set that aside to focus on something we can all agree to love: moms. The special Mother's Day message from the cast of SNL featured several mothers of the show's players, and some of these moms aren't afraid to have an edge. Aidy Bryant's mom couldn't wait to rip it up at the after-party. Kenan Thompson's mother took a shot at how long her son has been on the program, closing in on 16 seasons. Kyle Mooney's mom correctly notes that her boy's sketches on the program are crazy, and Beck Bennott's mom is all about a Wayne's World reboot. The most delightful bit was with Chris Redd's mom, who cuts right to the chase and telling her son who she thinks should be president. It's not someone on the ballots. To be fair, the take no prisoners political humor on SNL is often hysterically funny. Still, this was a refreshing, funny and fitting change of pace for a night. Next up was Schumer's opening monologue, 8 minutes of pure stand-up. In fine, fun and relaxed form, Schumer got steady laughs with bits about photo calls at a wedding. It's all about not having the biggest arm, a loose definition of anthropologist, her love of totally unnecessary free stuff, and locker room sisterhood. This is the I Feel Pretty Star's second hosting gig at Studio 8H, and there are bound to be many more. Then, Schumer hosted game show parody Mother Knows Best, where moms and their teen kids compete for cash. It's sweet enough at first, then all that gets hijacked straight down the tubes by a mother-son pair from an isolated fortress, played by Kate McKinnon and Mikey Day. Let's face it, ladies, in 2018 A Handmaid's Tale is basically our sex cosmos. Anyone, here's one for all the moms. In the day you were born, Schumer and Mikey Day tell their son about his natal day, and like many parents, they sugarcoat it just a bit. For all the madness and screaming, this digital short was ultimately pretty touching. The best part was the dedication at the end: to all the moms in the world, thanks for pretending it was easy. Michael Che and Colin Yost got huge laughs with jabs at the Be Best campaign and Michael Cohen among other targets. Watch here. But the best parts of this week's Weekend Update were the guests. Perhaps you've heard, the internet is overrun with film critics. Many of these film critics are on YouTube. Heidi Gardner's returning Bailey Gizmert is a merciless and spot-on spoof. Fact, this is every entertainment journalist's new favorite SNL character, and she can't return soon enough. Just as Che was about to lean in for a swipe at Rudy Giuliani, he got a surprise visit on camera from his doting stepmom, played by none other than two-time Emmy-winning comedic virtuoso Melissa McCarthy. After some deafening applause from the studio audience, she offered her stepson a Claritin, and it just got funnier and more relatable from there. SNL is always the perfect setting for McCarthy's formidable talents. Tied with Handmaids in the City for the most wrong sketch of the night was Lil Rent. Never before has Microsoft Word's Find and Replace feature been used for such disastrous means. The final sketch of the night was a relatable graduation ceremony with lots of dabs. Watch here. And the penultimate sketch was the latest installment of the behemoth's last call. When we last saw McKinnon's Sheila Sovich, she was French kissing Charles Barkley through dental equipment. Tonight, Sheila climbed to the other side of the fence to, reluctantly, pursue Schumer's Sucille. Thompson's reaction shots are always a highlight of this gross-out staple, and tonight he outdid himself with a tribute to a Steven Spielberg classic. Lol. Much has been said about the purity of the acoustics on the legendary, tiny Studio 8H stage. If you don't sound good there, you don't sound good. It's also really hard to get away with lip-syncing or compensating with a lot of flair. Well, East Texas native and country superstar Kacey Musgraves sounded nothing short of divine on that stage tonight. It's rare enough that we get a country performer on SNL, but that's far from the only reason this performance stands out. Aside from an eye-catching mirrored saddle rotating overhead during her first song, there were no theatrics, and she didn't need them. Her vocals were as pristine as they were unfussy, and she's got magnetic, coolly confident stage presence. Also, the songs are beautifully written and she's gorgeous. Isn't hyperbole to say this is modern country at its finest, and Musgraves is one of the best musical guests in some time. Watch up-tempo, high, force, and ballad, slow burn, below. Only one episode of season 43 remains. Tina Fey hosts Saturday Night Live with musical guest Nicki Minaj May 19th at 11:30 p.m. ET. Were you as blown away by Kacey Musgraves as we were? What was your favorite Mother's Day themed sketch? Sound off in the comments.